What's going on, guys? Welcome back into the channel. Today we're going to cover a topic that is going to be really helpful for you guys if you do struggle sometimes with specific pass rushers really getting to your quarterback and causing problems for you. Hopefully the audio is coming through on this video, but to start out with, the first thing that you're going to want to consider, let's say you have a guy that you're going up against that is basically just completely destroying your offensive line. What you're going to want to take into account is who is blocking them. And I'll get back to this point in a minute and show you guys what you want to do with your offensive line to adjust to attempt to block them. But first things first, let's show you guys what I can here from this screen and give you guys an example of how you can start blocking a pass rusher. Now, I'm the Cowboys. I'm going up against the Saints, so we're going to be focusing on Cameron Jordan, who's a very good pass rusher, and ways to attempt to block him. Now, the first thing that you're going to want to go out of is the gun empty. And what can you do when you don't have any assistance in to try and help block the pass rushers? You know, what can I do whenever I'm in a gun empty set like this and I just don't have any help to try and block Cameron Jordan over on the right side? Well, the first thing that you can do is you can press L1 prior to the snap. And this is going to give you your pass protection options. That's going to allow you to slide the offensive line to the left, slide it to the right, do a double team, pass protect, ID the Mike linebacker, or reset it back to what you had at the start. Now, the first thing you can attempt to do, if you're getting a heavy pass rush from one side or the other, is you can attempt to slide your offensive line to the right. So oftentimes that's useful when you recognize a blitz, like say that safety on the right side comes down and shows blitz, you can slide the offensive line to the right, and then what's going to happen is you can see the pass protection is adjusted. Those little white lines behind the offensive linemen, they're going to kick out further to the right side in an attempt to block those players for you. That can be utilized to help stop a specific pass rusher that is getting to your quarterback. If Cameron Jordan has like 3 sacks or something and you just don't know what to do, start trying to slide your pass protection to that side, and I'll show you guys how that reacts. So they're going to jump out to the right side and try and cover those guys. They did a horrible job because there was a massive blitz coming from that side. But that is one idea that you can do to try and protect from that side. However, if you're having more of a trouble with one specific player, like let's say that we're having trouble, I'm going to actually run this play and then switch to another one. Let's say you're having trouble specifically with that defensive end and not just a side in general. So I'm going to press L1 and I'm going to go right stick down for a double team. Now it's going to let you use the arrows to go left and right between all these players and pick a player on the defensive line to double team on your offensive line. Now, it's not going to work out for you 100% of the time because a lot of it is going to take into account how they're lined up on defense. Like if I tried to set a double team for this defensive end on this side, it's going to be really difficult for my guys to get there. There's no way 2 guys are going to be able to reach that guy all the way on the outside, which might leave this guy open for a pass rush on the inside or something like that. However, we're in a good situation here where Cameron Jordan can be double teamed because the center is going to take this defensive tackle head on, and then this right guard between the center and between the tackle will be able to come over and help out on that defensive end that we're trying to double team. So you just press X, and then you activate, and you can see they now have a double team on him. He's not getting to me any day. You know, it doesn't matter who your O-line is. You know, most of the time, they're not going to be able to split a double team. If you have Aaron Donald you're going up against, good luck. You're probably going to get that double team split anyway. But it helps on a lot of plays to indicate the double team no matter what. So let's just show you guys what happens if I try and indicate a double team over here when it might be difficult for them to. They're going to try and do it, and they did a decent job, but if there's like a stunt coming or something, it could be difficult for them to actually double team it. But the double team mechanic in general is something you're going to want to know to be able to, you know, take care of those really effective pass rushers that are giving you guys problems all game long. Because I see that happening all the time. You know, this guy has 4 or 5 sacks against me. How the freak do I stop him? Well, you press L1, you go double team, and then you select the guy and try and double team him. That's the best bet that you have. But what else can you do on top of that? On top of just double teaming the player and creating, you know, a little bit of an advantage for yourself on the offensive blocking side of the ball, you can bring in extra guys to block, and I want to show you guys exactly how to do that. So in choosing a new play, you can do one of 2 things. You can bring in a halfback to try and help you block the guy. You can bring in a tight end to help you block the guy. So let's say on the right side I'm having trouble with Cameron Jordan. Well, out of gun, instead of calling an empty set where I have no additional blockers in, what you're going going to want to try and do is call one where you have maybe a tight end in to help you out or a running back in to help you out. So I'm going to call gun doubles flex weak, and I'm going to show you guys I have the tight end on the right side to help me block out, and I do have the halfback in as well, but the goal here is not going to be to have the halfback help me block because he's on the left side. So I'm going to just send him out on a route, but I want that tight end to help me out on the defensive end. So I can press triangle, I can press X to select the tight end, and then you can press R2 to pass block. He is now pass blocking on the right side there. You can then combine that by pressing L1 and double team and try and double team that defensive end that's giving you trouble. You will now have two guys out there causing him problems trying to pass rush you. Now, they didn't do a great job, but they bought me time to throw the ball. If he's just coming free on you and causing problems, then you're going to want to try stuff like that. So triangle, then select the guy that you have in the block and just tell him to run block. Now the other, pass block. And what you can do after that is then you can start to incorporate your running back into it. Now, generally speaking, what I have going here is not a good idea for the running back to be blocking. If I'm trying to stop a guy on the right side, you don't want the running back to be on the left side to block him. Now, he will try and pick that guy up. He will go back, see, he tries to pick him up, but he does a bad job of it. If you are really having trouble with that right side specifically, or the left side, however you're doing it, vice versa, you're going to want to have the halfback be on the opposite side. So you can either call a play where he's on the right side, or you can motion him to that side. And now he will be prepared to pick up the blitz coming from the right side, whoever leaks through. He gets that guy that leaks through. And as you can see, I got a ton of time to throw, even on a blitz, and we have no problem throwing the ball. So those are the basic ways that you can help yourself out in the passing game, blocking a edge rusher or pass rusher that's really giving you problems and sacking you a whole bunch. You can shift the O-line, you can double team the defensive lineman, you can move your halfback over to help you block on that side of the ball. That's really important, that if you're specifically having problems with the guy that's over here, then you want to move your running back to that side if he's blocking, or keep him in to block. Make sure he's not going out on a route. And then in addition to that, you can put your tight end into block. I don't highly recommend putting the tight end into block, because if he gets a one-on-one matchup with that outside pass rusher, he's going to get beat. And so that's not always the best option, but it is an option to help you block that guy. What I would recommend is, if you're going to try and specifically call your tight end to block that guy, I recommend that you put a double team on him and then switch your tight end to run block, or pass block, and then they will, your right tackle will help on that guy. So see, it's your tight end and your tight end and your tackle that are going out there and trying to block that guy. So hopefully these tips help you out in some way. I do want to show you guys one more that will help you guys out that you might not be thinking of, and that is, in game you can always go to your depth chart and switch around your depth chart, and you can choose which offensive lineman you want to play at which position. Now, this is a very abnormal thing to do. Most people don't even go into the pause menu at all during a game, but it is something that could help you out if you're having a lot of trouble. Go into your depth chart and go to your roster and just see which guy would be better at pass blocking that guy. So if I'm the Cowboys, for example, and I'm having a lot of problems with getting a pass rush from my right tackle, well, okay, maybe he's not my best pass blocker. Go in and see what his pass blocking ratings are, and then go from there. Try and choose a pass blocker from there. So he's got 85 pass block, but let's look at my other offensive linemen and see what their pass block is. Zach Martin has 94 pass block, 95, 92. So if you are really having trouble with that guy on the right side, I highly recommend you flip-flop your offensive lineman around on your depth chart. So if I'm having trouble with Cameron Jordan on that right side, I'm going to take Tyrone Smith, or I'm going to take Zach Martin and move him over there. That way he has the one-on-one matchup, and he has a higher likelihood of actually blocking that guy and being successful in doing so. So hopefully this helps you guys out in some way. Those are the easy tips to try and negate a superstar pass rusher that's really getting to your quarterback. Call the double team, call an offensive line shift, bring in a tight end and a halfback to help you block, and make sure that they're on the correct side to be able to block the guy that's giving you problems. And then make sure you look at your offensive line and see who's actually going up against the guy. My first instinct in blocking that guy would be to switch my O lineman around, because that doesn't require me to take anybody out of the play. And what I mean by that is when you start bringing in tight ends or you start bringing in halfbacks, or you start double teaming, you start switching assignments and you start taking receivers out of the play. You know, your tight end could be going downfield, or so could your halfback. You start taking away passing options, and you start taking away an extra offensive lineman that could be picking up a blitz, when in reality you could just make a one-on-one man switch, and maybe that guy that you switch over there is then capable of blocking that offensive lineman. So definitely consider switching your O-line around first, and then start considering doing double teams and bringing in extra guys to block for you at that point. But hopefully that helps you out. If it does, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, leave a comment down below for what you guys would like to see next, and I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.